too early to sing praises.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not part of those who are singing praises. Of course, if there's
it has been arrested though.
If there's an improvement, there must be an indication that it's improving.
Right.
But as to whether it's enough for the government to be praised, I'm not sure we've gotten there, because of course government also picked it from somewhere before we got to where we are. But at least there's a certain level that it must get to for it to begin to have effect on our pockets. Then we can be praised. Like I give a typical example. The transport service operators are saying that until it gets to a certain level where they can feel it and say, okay, now we can also reduce their prices for them.
All right.
It's business as usual.
Okay, let's speak to Al Hassan. Say good morning to you, Al Hassan.
Good morning, madam.
Right, you're on air.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you're fine too.
I'm fine.
Right, you have 1 minute. You can share your thought with us now.
Okay, madam. Patrol, pere mekade. On there, Ghana ha. You can't wear the beer. Don't much wear the no is insult. I'm a demo on the shower near insult. Useless. On the show, look at the obia useless sha. Assembly bahwa na you discuss assembly when the assembly yellow cano in your deep in your heart. Women be that some no one no one. And a different assembly. It means you are useless. Or more understanding. But on the young Ghana, they are useless to our economy. Because the reason why they make it useless to our economy in there. So Bibiala Obabana Aban would do us or a right or a wrong way. About who go for Obarali behind Shah into an Abano all cano. But also, I know, say criticize Abana, and it doesn't mean the Aban and Penasa, a better or the right thing. This is a pension fund, if the nation and Panaba pensioner. Or no Bibiana or the no hope in our question the pension fund. Let's say the pension fund on yet for this year. It's 2020, I have 2 years and I have a time over any pension. Then if an album one over my or go to media support no. The only Abana or Kade or by that is such a or no Adam one or it was what she entered here, but almost my tailors in the Pamadina, Ahman or Munio better to sell multimedia attitude. And tell the oil Dama, or man. Yes, 2016 over public sector employment. Yes, the word Ghana and Pinu for as in full almost all multi-society. The when you are quite silent.
Okay, thank you so much for calling, Al Hassan. I saw you nodding your head.
Well, you see, it's a clear case of expression of frustration.
Exactly.
And it cannot be lost to all of us that indeed times are hard. And when that happens, people look up to government and say, look, you have to do something. And government has to do something.
But what are some of the measures TUC and then the organized labor is proposing to government to help the ailing economy?
Well, today I know that the Public Service Joint Standing Negotiating Committee is having a meeting with government on the issue of the increment of their base pay by 60%. You know, that meeting ended inconclusively. So the meeting will be happening today.
Alhaji, please hold on. I'll take your submissions. But before that, let's speak to Henry. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Madam.
Right. Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
All right. You have a minute.
Good morning. Happy.
Right, Henry. Henry. Hello, Henry. Okay, so Henry is gone, but you can call in. Alhaji, you're on a submission. Yes, as for this, Alhaji, you will have to go next year because it looks like I've already given it to you.
I can see that.
Right.
It's a calling already. So, like I was saying earlier, the Public Service Joint Standing Negotiating Committee, comprising of government, the organized labor, will be having a meeting today to deliberate on the meeting they had earlier, which is inconclusive in respect of the 60% increment of their base pay that the TUC organized labor proposed. So we are hoping that that meeting today will end well. When I say it will end well, it will end to respond to the expectation of the Ghanaian worker, because the justification given by the organized labor and TUC is down to the fact that the economic situation is getting worse. And anytime we go into some negotiations, any figure that we come up with within the next few months, inflation rises and everything will get away. And so this time around, they are very bent on making sure they get something more attractive, so that at least, given how unpredictable our economic situation has become, even if the worst case happens, we should still be within the
something to
cushion us. And so we expect that the decision this morning will bear some fruit, and I'm sure after that there will be a statement for everybody to know what actually happened. So we are here also observing what will happen in that meeting.
Okay, let's talk about the private sector. We will touch on the benchmark issue, but let's talk about the. All right, but Henry is on the line. Hello, Henry.
Okay, let's talk about the private sector.
Henry.
Hello.
Kindly reduce the volume on your TV set for me.
All right.
Thank you, Henry. You have a minute, please.
Okay. Good morning to all your listeners. Please, the government have to rethink about this employment issue. It's very, look, the youth, we are in the house. Look, the thing is look, I just finished my national service. And I'm home. You see? And even the youth that they are talking about, you apply, we are not hearing anything. You see, they should try and do something. It's very bad. It's very, very bad. Very bad.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Henry. Have a great day. Let's talk about the private sector. Can the private sector provide jobs if IMF bans public sector hiring?
Sad, my sister. In an ideal situation, that should be the case, that the private sector should be able to hold the fort when it comes to employment of these young ones who are coming from the school. I mean, all things being equal. But like I told you, the recent report from the statistical services indicated that almost 85,000 of our youth were out of jobs. They were out of job because the private sector was not able to maintain them, because they are also operating at a loss. And so when businesses are operating at a loss, what normally happens is either they shut down business or they introduce a system where some will have to be laid off to be able to manage a few labor that they can maintain. And that's the situation we find ourselves. Doing business in Ghana at this moment is highly unfavorable. And I expected government to begin to look at that aspect. Of course, I saw in the budget that was read recently, the government was talking about freezing some taxes that was meant to be given to these private, especially giving the free zones and all that. But the issue is that this free zone concept was brought as a result of encouraging investors to be able to open more business out there, so they can also help in employing some of most of these youth who come out of school. So it would have been easier if the conditions were right. And so if you want to know how easy for the private sector to be able to employ, look at Guta. I just give an example. As of 2021, Guta is saying that the dollar to cedi was 6.4. 6.4 cedi. And at that time, it led them to lose the strength of their capital by 40%. What it means is that if your capital is 100,000, by virtue of the dollar and cedi being 6.4 to dollar, your capital has reduced to 60,000 Ghana cedi as a business person. Today, if the dollar is 11 cedi, as the man was saying, how much would then be your capital? You would have virtually nothing to hold in your hands as a businessman. And when that happens, can you be able to recruit people to come and help you in your shop? It's not possible.
Right, let's speak to Henry. Henry, you are last caller. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. How's it?
I'm doing well. I hope you're fine too.
Yeah, I'm fine. I want to speak on the unemployment issue. You see, for me, my belief is that government have no business creating employment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I may differ from all the other colleagues. But I think in life, you know, if you give birth to a kid and then you make the kid very dependent on people, or dependent on society, dependent on government. A child after school or after anything will still be at home, waiting for someone to come to help. But after university, we all started doing something on our own. We all wrote. I even learned how to write CVs. You understand? But along the line, I realized I have to start something on my own. So I think that is where we are supposed to come from. I learned the expenditure of government outweighs the revenue, and then chunk goes to the salary, which is not good. It's a policy that has to change. Now, our school curriculum, we have to change a lot from it. Teach the child how to fish. That will help. You understand? I'm trying to fish for the child. And I don't know, this thing has been going on. All this for anybody who calls, we say government has to create employment. Since Ronnie's time, before, Mahama, whoever. That's not their job.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling, Henry. Alhaji, he says, teach the child how to fish. Would you agree with him?
That is why we talk about creating the enabling environment for the private person, you and I, to say we don't want to work with government. We want to venture into the private sector because the conditions are okay. Favorable. That's what we are talking about. But you and I also know that the conditions as we speak today, the businesses are crying. Right.
Our time is up. Let's quickly touch on this. Current rate of inflation should be benchmarked for 2023 salary negotiation. Now, this is by organized labor. Let me take your view on this quickly before we go.
I think that it is in order. If the current rate of inflation is used as a benchmark, it's in order, because we all understand that the forces of prices are driven by the forces of the inflationary trends. Okay, so if we are going to go into negotiation and we start from that angle, it will end up benefiting the Ghanaian public sector worker, and that for us it should be the way to go. So we are for it.
Right. Your final words.
There's going to be a crucial meeting today.
Right.
And it's our hope and prayer that the leadership of TUC organized labor, what they are tabling before government should see reason why they are calling for the 60% increment in the base pay of the Ghanaian public sector worker, and do the needful. So they will come back and be able to, as it were, live up to their responsibility as parents at home, because there's pressure. The pressure is mounting not only because of the existing family, but for now that we are told there could be a freeze on employment, there are children who have also completed and have also ended their service are also coming back to become a burden. So they should listen to them when they come for the 60% increment.
All right. Thank you so much for passing through, Alhaji. Ibrahim Adams Momen is the Director of Operations Coalition Against the Leadership of TUC and Organized Labor, has been my guest this morning. And we touched on a freeze on employment into the public sector as per the 2023 budget. This is where we end the media review segment of the Breakfast Live Show. My name is Lebene Abrokwa. There's more on ENA